Hello, my name is John Biltcliffe and I'm an industry specialist solution architect at AWS. And in this video, I'm going to be walking you through the fast turnaround workflows using TAMS demo. This is showcasing some of the latest partner developments and capabilities within the TAMS ecosystem. For those of you not familiar with TAMS, it's an open source API specification which allows the recording and working with live video flows using standard object storage through an open source API. This uses small segments of media on object storage with a data model that then puts these together where you can have multiple different resolutions, bit rates, frame rates of the content, multiple audio tracks, all under the same source content available through the API. And because this is small chunks of media, as soon as they're written to the object storage and registered with the TAMS API, anybody can be going and reading that content. So it allows fast turnaround access to the content while it's still being recorded, all through the standard API. This also opens up interesting concepts where you can have existing content in the store, and then you can do simple things like edit by reference, just pointing back to the original content without the need to duplicate content and re-render video frames out. So this means it's a very cost-effective and very scalable solution for these kind of workloads. And what we're really seeing with TAMS is kind of convergence of the different workloads together, how a single ingest, for example, a press conference, can be used for a variety of different use cases, whether that's post-production for creating new packages, playing into the live galleries, social media, streaming out to websites, live AI analysis, or intercompany workflows to send content between different news agencies and broadcasters. And all of this can be done in pretty much real time with that single record from the TAMS store. If you want to know more about TAMS, then there's a lot more information available on the TAMS website, timeaddressablemediastore.org. So this year's demo really focuses on some of the latest capabilities and showcasing how they can be put together in a workflow. So all the way from camera through ingest, editing, media asset management, how we can combine sports data and agentic workflows, compliance recordings and distribution, as well as integration with new standards like the EBU MXL capabilities. One of the really exciting new developments in the TAMS world has been the ability to go directly from a camera into TAMS and just send the chunks directly to the store. And we've got not one, but two different apps that have come available with this capability. The first is the Cutting Room app, the reporter app that they've had for a while integrated with their platform. This now has the option to record directly to your TAMS store. So the chunks go straight from the camera to the store, and then you can open those in any application that supports TAMS. Similarly, the Mavis camera app also supports TAMS in the same way, writing directly to the store. But the difference with the Mavis app is that it also supports hardware from Atomos and Axoon, so you can plug in any SDI or HDMI camera and enable that to work natively with TAMS. Another really exciting development for TAMS this year has been the integration between TAMS and the EBU's Dynamic Media Facilities Media Exchange Layer, or MXL, capability for live video workflows. And this fits together really well with TAMS because you need to store content and record it and repurpose it. Then TAMS is perfect for that, alongside MXL, which is sharing frames to a shared memory buffer. We've got two new integrations, one from TechX, which allows us to take content from MXL and write that into a TAMS store, and then go and do all the other workflows that you'd expect with TAMS content. The second is from Matrox using their Origin platform, where they can both write to TAMS from MXL, but they can also read TAMS and write that back to MXL. So you've got both directions to and from MXL and TAMS there. In addition to the MXL ingest, we also have more traditional live video feeds coming in. So we are recording all the feeds from our podcast demo set up, including all the ISO cameras. And we also have a live feed coming in via Zixi through their broadcaster software directly into TAMS. To be able to manipulate and edit content in TAMS, there's a range of different offerings, starting with the Omikaze open source player, but you can also go and mark segmentation points in here. So this could be used for logging purposes, or it can be used for marking up clips that you want to make use of for other purposes. You can mark as many clips as you want. We can reorder them here in the browser. And then we've got options to do things like export to media convert. So this will take the metadata, send that to media convert, which will read TAMS directly, and export to the job definition of your choice. So you can create outputs for social media or VOD workflows. Equally, you can go and do edits in the store and create new sources and flows, and then just reference back to the original content in the store. For the next level of edit tasks where a timeline is required, Cutting Room have been updating their TAMS integration to provide new features and capabilities. So firstly, we've got the ability to embed a richer panel with more data about the TAMS store and open content from there. And we can then continue to work and edit with that as we have been able to previously. But they've also now created the ability to do the initial sort of publish back into a TAMS store. And while it's not yet doing the edit by reference, it is now allowing that round tripping back into the store. For workflows which require a full editor, and there's a new plugin from LucidLink, which uses some of their Connect capabilities to present the TAMS store as a file system to Premiere, as well as the plugin then handles segments, turning it into a clip on the timeline that an editor will be used to. The plugin also supports the live growing capabilities, so as new media comes in, then the clip on the timeline should expand and continue to update there. Another new development in the TAMS world is we're starting to see our systems integrator partners producing full TAMS solutions that customers can go and deploy. So the first of these is from Construct, who've been working on a compliance recording solution. So if you have playout channels, you can then record them into their compliance system, store them for months, and be able to go back and browse through that content. And if you need to export that for potentially regulatory purposes. In this scenario, we've got 6 channels coming in here. I can select a channel and then go in and see a range of thumbnails from the channel itself. I can pick the date that I want to go and see if I want to change my date, and I can zoom in to a particular window and the thumbnails will update for me to show that particular point in time. There's also got a feed extractor here, so once I've found the window that I'm interested in my channel, I can launch the feed extractor, then go in even further. And this is the same Omikaze player that we saw earlier, which is developed by Construct, to be able to go and mark an in and out point and select content that I want to go and export for other purposes. Logic Media have built a reference implementation showing how TAMS media can be combined with sports data and agentic capabilities to generate automatic highlights. So here we can see the TAMS segments, but we can also see events that have come from the sports data world. We can get more detail on the individual segments, or we can see the event list here. Now I can also go and chat to this on an agentic level and say, where is the first goal of the match? And this should hopefully go and query the sports metadata and then come back with a response highlighting where the goal is. And so I should also be able to say, help me export a clip of the first goal. And so it'll go and highlight the section, and then I can go and use the platform to go and export that out. So it's really showing how we can start using TAMS, metadata, and agentic capabilities together. There is a separate demo video for live video understanding using the segments from a TAMS store, looking at how we can use different AI models to analyze the video and understand what's within those. So do make sure you check out that video. And finally, as I said earlier, if you want any more information about TAMS, then visit the Time Addressable Media Store website. Thank you.